Hi, welcome back to the Colorado Trail, day 7 and 8. I did not hike on days 7 and 8 while we were in Breckenridge, but the question for these 2 days is, what do you do on a 0 day? Or some people call it a town day, or some people even call it a Nero day. In other words, you don't really hike that many miles, it's close to a 0 day. So that's the question. So the answer to that question is there's several things you want to do. Number one, you want to rest. Number two, you want to get cleaned up. You've been hiking for possibly several days and you want to make sure everything is clean, and not just yourself, but the clothing that you've been hiking with. Maybe your sleeping bag is a little wet. So you might be going to a laundromat that might be in town. If there isn't a laundromat, then you have to be creative and possibly use the shampoo or the body wash to wash your clothes, and you just hang dry them in your hotel. The next thing you want to do is you want to eat town food. You've been eating the food that you've been carrying, the camping food, the trail food, and after a while, it just doesn't do the trick. It's not satisfying. So you kind of crave your normal diet or food in your everyday life. So rest, getting cleaned up, and doing your laundry, and eating some town food are pretty much the main staples of what you do when you go into town or doing a Nero day. One of the things that is kind of on hikers' mind is how to make things lighter. So oftentimes you have hikers do what's called a shakedown or a gear shakedown. And certainly I did that when I got to Breckenridge. And the main piece of equipment that I changed was my backpack. Now, I was carrying, I had the Osprey Atmos 65. It's a 65-liter backpack that I was using for the first 104 miles from Waterton to Breckenridge. Now, there's nothing wrong with the Atmos 65. It is a great backpack. It holds a lot of gear, and let's say you are, carrying gear for other people, or maybe you have some little kids and you want to carry that gear. It is, again, it's great for carrying a ton of gear if you're doing, a 3 or 4 day stretch. However, if you're doing a through hike where it's multiple days and several hundred miles, you want to make things as light as possible. So I changed my Osprey Atmos 65 for the Osprey, it's called the Exos 58. There you go, 58. And this is a lot lighter. It's over 2 pounds lighter. The thing about this one is, instead of the Atmos kind of wrapping around your stomach, they have these kind of a little bit flimsier belt, but this is much more comfortable. It's a lot lighter. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles like the Atmos, but it doesn't, like the Atmos had a lot of different pockets. And oftentimes when you have a lot of space, you use it. Whereas this one, there aren't a lot of pockets to it. It's just got this front mesh pocket and just some water bottle holders, which are slightly bigger than the Atmos, but again, it doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles like the other one. And this one also has the brain, which you attach on the top, just like the Atmos, but there's one less pocket on this one, which overall, making it lighter. You can tell that the material, the nylon material here, is a little bit thinner. The clips are a little bit smaller, but overall, it's saving me over 2 pounds. I also got rid of a kind of a water pouch. I gave that to my friend, one of my friends that was hiking with me. And there were a couple other items that I just didn't use during that first week that I got rid of. Overall, I probably saved about 3.5 pounds. I cut that from from carrying, and so going forward just made it easier. So some of the videos that you're going to be seeing, instead of me carrying this blue backpack, I now have this black and orange backpack that you'll be seeing. So now, just kind of a recap to answer the question, what do you do in a 0 day or a Nero day, or sometimes called a town day? Again, rest. You get cleaned up, get dried out if it was raining, go to the laundromat, get your clothes clean, eat town food or your regular food, and if you have a chance, do a gear shakedown. It doesn't have to be a whole backpack, but it can get some smaller items that you're just not using anymore. You can just possibly donate it to somebody else, or maybe mail things back home. If it's something like a backpack, I'm not just going to throw that away. I end up mailing that backpack back home. So, well, that answers the question for day 7 and 8. I'll show some pictures of Breckenridge, but again, I didn't hike anywhere those 2 days. I rested up for the next leg, day 9, 10, and 11, which I traveled from Breckenridge to Tennessee Pass, which is just north of Leadville. So stay tuned for those videos. They'll be coming out here shortly, and take care. We'll see you next time.